Hey guys, Tara here from Recovering Book Hoarder, and today is my weekly wrap up. So it's been a little over a week since I talked to you guys last because we talked before the new year. So a lot has gone on over this past week. Let me open up my planner so that I can see what I did. So there is going to be a flip through my planner this week, and I am absolutely loving it. So I cannot wait to share it with you guys because you'll get to see kind of how I'm using it also, because it's been used for about a week now. So on Friday, my mom came over and she helped me to get the diamond painting that I am now working on. She helped me to like prep that because I had just gotten the stuff for it, so I needed to sort out the little diamonds. I think they're called drills. I had to sort those into their independent things, and then we watched a bunch of videos on tips for diamond painting and how to frame diamond paintings and things like that. So my mom has completely finished one diamond painting and is on her second one. So she has some experience with it. This will be my first one, and I will have that to show you guys the progress that I've made on it also towards the end of this video. On Saturday, which was on New Year's Day, that is the day that we went over and gave my nieces their Christmas gifts, because Aunt T has a tendency to go crazy, and to give it to them the day of Christmas is just way too much, and they're already overwhelmed and they really can't enjoy it. So I waited a week and we went over and gave it to them on New Year's Day, and they loved everything. I had gotten Ava this, like, I want to call it like a starter American Girl. It's one of the ones from Target. She's just too young right now to have the expensive American Girl doll. I'll probably get her that whenever it's time. But started her out with one from Target, and I can't remember what line it is. Mistakenly thought it was an 18-inch doll. Bought clothes for 18-inch doll. It turns out it's a 16-inch doll, so need to get her some different clothes. But along with that, Ava had asked for a kitchen for that doll, so I got that. Well, Livy loved that little kitchen as much as Ava did, and it came with so much stuff, and it's this really cute kitchen because it's bigger than like a kitchen for Barbie, because the doll is bigger, and they just had a ball playing with it, so that was fun. And yeah, probably putting some pictures over here too of them from that day so you can see. And then we went to my aunt's house. Normally we go there for dinner on Christmas, but the virus was in the house, so we went over there on New Year's Day instead for dinner, and a lot of the family was there, and it was such a nice time. And Livy, who's very like hit or miss with me, she's the youngest of my two nieces, she loved me today or that day, and just had me going everywhere with her. We were just together all night, and it was the best. Lots of cuddles from her, which I just take advantage of those when I can get them, because I know the next time she sees me, it's going to be right back to, smiling at me from afar. So I loved it. It was a great day. We had such a nice time, and it was wonderful to get together with family, because we didn't get to do that last year, and we didn't get to see anybody for Thanksgiving because, again, the virus had reared its ugly head. So yeah, that was wonderful. It was a great New Year's Day. And then on Sunday for church, my cousin-in-law, he gave his first ever sermon. He's thinking about going into the ministry, and he did an absolutely amazing job. I'm going to link it down below if you guys are interested. He's young. He's only in his 20s, and his sermon was all about fear, and he did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal. So I'll have that linked if you guys want to check that out. Went back to work for the first day in 10 days on Monday the 3rd. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough going to work. I so badly want to be able to just stay home, and it's just not in the cards for me. And I was just really tired, But it was great to see everybody again. Like I always say, I absolutely adore the people that I work with, and so being able to see them and catch up with them from the holidays, that was nice. That was the best part about being back. And then I was just with people all day long, because whenever I'm gone that amount of time, I really don't have any time to like sit down and do desk kind of work. It's a lot of catching up and meeting with people and finding out what's going on, troubleshooting, that kind of thing. So that was my day on Monday. And then Tuesday is my work from home day, because it has to do with Cassidy and her cyber schedule. And that was also the day that Livy turned 2 years old. I just can't even believe that she's 2 already. She is a COVID baby, which means that, you know, she was born in January of 2020. And so the poor kid just hasn't been out much and is a complete introvert. And she wants to be home. So like when we're out, she does pretty good for about an hour, hour and a half. And then she's like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. Poor thing. I feel her pain, because as an introvert, I get it. So, her second birthday, we didn't get to go over that day, but I did do, saying to her over FaceTime, and got to watch her blow her candles and stuff. FaceTime is just the best. So did that, and, here's some, you know, I'm sure I put pictures over here of her turning 2. And then the day after her birthday, Cass was over at the house and took just the best selfies of her and Livy. So here's one of those also. I love this. This is the new background on my lock screen on my phone. On Wednesday, for the first time in probably, I think, 2 years, at least 2 years, I did some direct patient stuff, because, you know, I'm the director now. I had been in the field for about 15 years total before I moved into the director position. And so I was always doing direct client kind of work, direct patient work. And one of my clinicians just he didn't have the time to do intakes or like the reassessments. And so he had asked if I would do those. And I like intakes and I like assessments. So I had 3 scheduled on Wednesday. I cannot even explain to you the anxiety I had, because it had been so long since I had done that. And it started on Tuesday night, and it was horrible. The anxiety was terrible. 2 of the patients ended up canceling, but I did get to do one of the assessments, and it was fun. Like, I do miss it. I miss the client work, but the anxiety is like crippling. So I don't know that I'm going to do it again. We'll see. I did like it. It's such a mixed bag, but the anxiety is just terrible. I think I need to talk to my PCP, because the Wellbutrin is helping the depression famously, wonderfully, but the anxiety is still pretty bad. So we may need to add something extra for that. I don't know. I go back in, I think, another 3 weeks, and I'll talk to him about that. So that was Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I said, I went in, whenever it was the end of the day, I stuck my head into Jackie's office. I'm like, I feel like I've been here for 5 days. Like, it was one of those work days that some work days just fly by, and I'm like, where did the day go? But on Thursday, the work day felt like it was literally 5 days long. Like I had been at the office for 5 days and had never left. It was just one of those days. And then, I should have brought it in here. When I got home, there's a bunch of packages on the table. There was 2 that said the Roland family, and so those were some belated Christmas gifts. And then there was another one that was Brian's. He's like, oh, I think this is something, you can't see this. He went downstairs. So he came back up, he's like, close your eyes. So he closed my eyes. Apparently he had done like a deep dive into my past videos. He said he fell down a rabbit hole watching my videos. So my Christmas, I think I had done like a Christmas tag. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before that. I can't remember. But there was this Hufflepuff soup, like a Hufflepuff soup mug. It's this huge thing that I wanted so bad. And I said that was one of the things I really wanted. And I didn't end up getting it. I never said anything about it. Well, he had watched that and saw it. And he ordered it for me. And it came in. And so he gave me that. And I was like, this is the nicest surprise. Because when it comes to like the love languages, my love language by and far knocks everything else out of the park is gifts. And so that just meant so much to me that he gave that to me. And it's just the coolest mug. So we now have 2 of those because I had gotten Cassidy the Slytherin one that year because she is a Slytherin through and through, a Slytherin. So now we have Slytherin and Hufflepuff, and it was just so nice of him to do that. And then we also got so from his cousin, my husband's cousins, Karen and Rick, they were down over Christmas with the virus, and so they were just feeling terrible. And so we didn't get to do our FaceTime with them with our gifts. So this week we've been getting gifts from them. So one day, 2 boxes of chocolate covered strawberries showed up, which was a just wonderful, terrific surprise because I love chocolate covered strawberries. We all do in the house. And then on Thursday, a Star Wars escape game, like escape room kind of game came. And it looks really cool. And maybe we'll do that. I'm wanting to do family game night tonight. So we might do that because I think it's Brian's turn to pick. Yeah, it's definitely Brian's turn to pick this week. So maybe he'll pick that. And then also just a really cool 2,000 piece Star Wars puzzle that Brian's like, oh, this is for you too. I'm like, no. You're going to do this puzzle with us. So I said, because it's going to have to go across the dining room table. Because I have this beautiful puzzle table that it like sits this far off the ground, like enough for my legs to go under when I'm sitting on the ground. And it really comfortably holds a 1,000 piece puzzle. There's just no way it's going to hold a 2,000 piece puzzle. So I said, this is going to be set up in the middle of the dining room table. So we are all going to work on it as a family. So just really nice surprises. Excited about all of that. And I'll let you guys know how the game goes if we do it tonight. And then on, so last night, which was Friday, I did we did a friend night, my friend Val and I. And here's a picture of us. So we went to Ichiban, which is like a hibachi restaurant. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. Yeah, it's a national chain, so I'm sure most of you that live in the United States have heard of it. It's not my favorite of the hibachi places. It's actually probably my least favorite of all the hibachi places because the soup, like the miso soup, has kind of a weird flavor. And in their fried rice, they automatically have peas in there. It's like peas and carrots. I'm fine with the carrots, but the peas, I don't want peas in my fried rice. So I have to like pick around them. Good. I mean, still, I love hibachi and it's good, but it's my least favorite out of the hibachi places. However, all's with Val, and really, it doesn't matter what we do when we're together. We just have a great time. Val's 100% extrovert. I'm 100% introvert. And so it's important for introverts to have friends like that in their life because it gets them out and keeps them engaged in the human world. So we did that. And then she had gotten tickets for a local playhouse. It's like a playhouse in the round putting on Mamma Mia. And we went to see that. It was good. We had these the only seats available were handicap seats. And so it was folding chairs literally on the floor. Like there were times that there was this much space between me and the person in the play, their butt standing in front of me. But it was interesting. It was good. Interesting casting choices. Val and I both agreed on that. But the woman who played Donna and then the woman who played, I don't know what her name is. She's played by, in the original, she's played by Julie, the Weasley's mom. In the original, I can't remember what her name is. But her casting, both of those were casted beautifully, and they did a great job. So it was fun. Felt very long because the chairs were not comfortable, but it was a really nice time. The negative was my constant glucose monitor stopped working. Like literally the sensor just stopped. I had no idea what the problem was, but I'd hold up my phone because it's a phone app, and it was like I was holding my phone up to an arm that had nothing on it. And there were still 9 days left of the sensor, and they're not cheap. So, and I kind of get anxiety whenever my glucose is not being constantly monitored. And I didn't have my portable glucose monitor with me because I haven't needed it in months. So when I got home, I changed that, and the issue was not the app, it was not the phone. The issue was the sensor. When I put on the new sensor, it read it totally like a normal sensor should be read. So I had to deal with that, but I have a new one on now, and so I feel better about that. And I'm going back and forth currently with the people that make the Freestyle Libre, so I can get a new one sent to me free of charge, because like I said, they're not cheap, and I still had 9 days left on a 14-day sensor, and it's not my fault that it stopped working. So that is what I did with my week. Today's Saturday, and it's just going to be a nice chill day. Harry and I oh, saying that because I'm about to talk about Harry Potter. Cass and I are currently reading Order of the Phoenix. That's what she's reading for this quarter at school. We're a little more than halfway done right now, and we need to get it finished. So we are reading at least one chapter a day, preferably 2. Today we're going to be reading 3 chapters. And she's loving it. One of her favorite characters of all time is Dolores Umbridge. So you can imagine she's loving this one, and she laughs out loud a lot while I'm reading it to her. And so we're going to be doing that today. And then I'm going to be doing some more cross stitch. I'll show you what I'm working on here after I talk about the books. I'm really into this pattern I'm working on. And like I said, maybe a family game night, and possibly some more working on my diamond painting also this evening. We'll see. I've been staying up until like 1 o'clock in the morning working on my diamond painting. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, so let's talk about books. Because I did have 2 book finishes this week. Definitely reading at a slower rate than I was last year, and that is okay. And I have several books that I am currently in the middle of. So first, let's talk about my finishes. So the first book I finished, I do not have here because it was audio. I didn't purchase it. That is The Apple Never Falls. That is by Liane Moriarty. It's her latest release. I was really excited for it because I think, I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I've read all of Liane Moriarty's books at this point. There might be one I didn't read. I'd have to look. Anyway, I really enjoyed this one. I was surprised because the reviews, I want to say it was like 3 point something is the average review. I gave this 5 stars because when I am reading a mystery, thriller, anything like that, and I would categorize this as mystery, if I can't see where the book's going, like I can't guess, my guesses are all totally inaccurate, that to me like takes it up way higher, because I'm finding out things when the author intends you to. It keeps me guessing, and it was enjoyable. I was so invested in these characters and the story, and it was 5 stars. So my first finish of 2022 was a 5-star read, and I did not love 9 Perfect Strangers, which was her last book. I want to say that was like a 3-star. So I was really happy to see that this one ended up being a 5-star read. So that was my first finish. And then my other finish I finished yesterday, and that was The Night the Lights Went Out by Karen White. And guys, I love the cover of this. I think it's gorgeous. This was a little harder for me to rate because I'll tell you, I ended up landing on 3-star. The book itself was enjoyable to read and had some of my favorite tropes. Like there's a blog that's written in here, and I really like whenever there's blogs in books. I was told timeline, told from 2 different points of view. And the issue was the main character, who is not supposed to be stupid, she's supposed to be a smart, independent woman, came across as stupid. I'm sorry, but there were like it was so obvious to me from almost the get-go of what was happening. I don't want to give anything away because I don't know, maybe it won't be to you guys, but to me it was totally obvious. I had everything figured out and tied up 100% before I was even 25% into the book. And I thought to myself, if this ends up being everything exactly the way I'm thinking, if there's not some kind of twist here, it definitely can't be 5-star. 4-star, if the characters hadn't come across as so stupid, then I probably would have done 4-star. But the character was dumb. I'm telling you, I was so frustrated with this character because I'm like, how are you not seeing what is so obvious here? So 3-star, but I did enjoy reading it. So yes, I knew it was going to happen. Yes, the character frustrated me to no end, but I enjoyed reading it. So do with that what you will. Okay, so those are the books that I finished. Then I am currently in the middle of The Missing Books of the Bible, Volume 1. This was, I had to close my eyes for my game that I play. I had to close my eyes and then just randomly pick a book off my shelf. This is the one I chose. And I cannot say I'm loving this. The first 2 books in here are the first and second book of Estrus. And to be perfectly honest, it's pretty boring, and it's all stuff that I read in the regular Bible. Like, I don't know, maybe the reason that these are, I know that they were found much later than the other Bible books, but maybe part of it is just because it's pretty much repeating stuff that's already been said in the regular Bible books. So can't say I'm loving this. I just want to finish it. Maybe the next one, the other books that are in here are the Book of Tobit, which, if I am thinking correctly, is actually found in the Catholic Bible, and then the Book of Judith, which may also be in the Catholic Bible, and then the rest of the Book of Esther, which I'm kind of excited to read that because Esther is probably one of my favorite books in the Bible. And then the Wisdom of Solomon is the final one in here that I need to read. So we'll see. So far, not really enjoying it. What I am enjoying, however, is my devotional for this year. So this year's devotional is New Morning Mercies, a daily gospel devotional by Paul David Tripp. And I got this because it was advertised as, I want to say, when I read this, it was like advertised as if you're feeling tired, if you feel like spiritually burned out, that this is a good book to read. And I agree with that completely. So apparently he has a Twitter where he has been doing these little quips for a couple years now. And so this devotional is that quip for the day, and then just a 1-page devotional reading, and then it gives you a something to read in the actual Bible also. And so I am doing that too. So I am still in the Word every single day, reading whatever he's telling me to read in here. So it doesn't take long. It is moving me. Last year's devotional did not. Last year's devotional I did not connect with at all. I did finish it, but I didn't like it, to be honest. So this one, though, I'm really, really enjoying. So I would recommend this. If you are feeling spiritually burned out, get this devotional. All right, so I read one of those a day, obviously, and that will continue for the rest of the year. Then I started The Captain's Daughter by Doreen D. Berger, and this was sent to me kindly by the author to review. And I am on chapter 7, just about to start chapter 7, and I am enjoying this. Her writing is very, not overly descriptive, not like irritatingly descriptive, but I can so easily see everything exactly how she's describing it. Like, it's like this movie, a great movie playing in my head. And I think it's a pretty book too. Like, at the beginning of each chapter, there's this little star thing that every time I see it, I'm like, that is so pretty. I really, really like that. And so it says about a set of sisters that are, I'm not sure if no, they're not twins. They're sisters born like 9 months apart. What is that called? Like Irish twins? And this takes place in the future, but we're in, like, I want to say it's like Montana or Texas, somewhere where it's dry, deserty, with ranches. And they had been adopted by their uncle because their parents both died. And that uncle lives on this big space vessel. He heads it, called the Polaris. And they get to go and live with him. Well, one day when they're on leave, and this takes place like 100 years in the future, I want to say. 2297. Oh, and it's New Mexico. Santa Fe, New Mexico. 2297. The world as we know it is still, like, very much the world as we know it, but they are able to control the weather. And yeah, there's a lot of like major space exploration and people living on like, kind of think of Star Wars, like how people would live on things in Star Wars. Anyway, probably explaining this terribly. The one day the girls get kidnapped by an alien ship whenever they're like at home in New Mexico when they're on leave, and the uncle has just found out about that and is, I think, going to be looking for them. The guy that stole them is like a trafficker, not a sex trafficker, but like traffics children. I'm not sure, to be slaves. I don't know why, but he traffics children, and so he's trying to take them to sell them, and I'm actually really enjoying it. So I am currently reading that. Then I also started this week When Night Breaks by Janella Angelis, and this is book 2 in the I think it's the Kingdom of Cards trilogy. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's a trilogy. I don't know what it's going to be. There's 2 books out so far. And this is Moulin Rouge meets The Phantom of the Opera. And I really enjoyed the first one. I'm so far liking the second one. We are in this like a different world. This time one of the characters is in this like shadow world, or like a world that's underneath the current world, that's a mirror world, maybe you'd call it, but the mirror world is full of magic, and yeah, it's fun. One of my favorite tropes is like magic in shows, circuses, fairs, that kind of thing, and this kind of falls underneath there. So I am enjoying this one. I'm 102 pages in currently. And yeah, liking that. And then I started yesterday. Oh, and that one was for the prompt of purchase a new book and read it. I had just purchased books, and that's one of my new books, so I went with that one. Then this was I landed on Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand on my game, and so I had to read a book that I had heard of because of Sarah. And one of those books I've heard of because of Sarah, and she talks about it all the time. It's The Duchess Deal by Tessa, and this is from the Girl Meets Duke series. It's the first one, and she always talks about how she loves the romance, but it's so funny and it's just really well written, and I agree with that so much. I'm listening to it, and listening to it yesterday, I was literally laughing out loud as I was listening to it, because the characters are just so full of life, and it's like a marriage of convenience between the seamstress and this duke, and he's like horribly scarred from I think from the war or something like that, and so he's convinced that like no one could possibly, nobody can love him because he's scarred and he's like a monster and all that kind of thing. But she likes him, she does, and he wants her to call him either Duke or Ashbury, which is like he's the Duke of Ashbury, and she's like, I'm not calling you either of those. So she asks him like, what's your Christian name, what do people call you when you're younger, all of that, and like none of it was working. So she's like calling him all these terms of endearment, and he hates it, and that's like been my favorite part so far. It's like this ongoing thing, and I am really liking it. So I am about to start chapter 9. I'm about 91 pages into this, and it is really fun. Regency, I love historical Regency romances, and so this is beautiful and I'm loving it. All right, so that is what I'm currently reading. Now, let's look at the things that I worked on this week that I am creating. So, first I did a puzzle. So this was called Curiosity Shop by Amy Stewart, 1,000 pieces, and by Buffalo Brand, which I love Amy Stewart. I love her art. I love Buffalo brand puzzles. It's just a joy to work with puzzles from this brand, and to put together puzzles by this artist. So here is my completed puzzle, and this one took me about a week. I think it was about a week that it took me, and so finished that. I had worked on that in the evenings after I worked on other things. So that was a complete. Then this week I started a new cross stitch because I'm doing this wheel. So every night, pretty much every night for the most part, I am spinning a daily decision making wheel that has all of my projects on it. And if you aren't following me on Instagram, my information is down in the description box. It's just recovering book hoarder, recovering with the underscore book underscore hoarder. That's my name over on Instagram. And so every day I'm spinning, that's telling me what to work on, and then I post a picture of what I'm working on, and then like where I am on it. So this week I had spun, and it was a new I had landed on mittens, the granny square mittens, which I had purchased, but I hadn't started those yet. So this is what they look like. I am using Juniper Moon Farm Cumulus Dappled yarn. It is Israeli Mako cotton with a touch of nylon. So it's 94% cotton and 6% nylon, and it feels like I think it's called Cumulus because it really does feel fluffy like a cloud. It is a number 4 weight, and I can't ever actually read like the machine symbols that are on there. I always have to look them up. But the color is Bondi Beach. So I finished one of the mitts, and this is my completed mitt. So then it also has these buttons on here, which these are actually made out of deer antlers, and it's by Favor Valley Woodworking in Heinecker, New Hampshire. Website www.favorvalley.com. And so like this is how they come, and so that's what they look like on my mitt. And so that's the front, granny square, and then the back is like that. This is actually the first, I've never made a mitt before, so this is new. So here's how it looks on my hands. I probably could have done the stitches a bit tighter. I was worried that the mitt would be too small, and actually it's a little on the bigger side. So that is my completed mitt. And then I have the granny square portion of the other mitt done, and so there is my granny square, and it just worked up really fast. I mean, this is what I got done in just one night of stitching, and this is the pretty yarn. I really love this yarn. This is the same yarn I used for my Taiga hood that I finished last year. All right, so worked on that, and then I spun and got new cross stitch. And then I had another wheel that I spun that was to tell me which new cross stitch to do. And so I landed on my Cheshire Cat cross stitch. So this is what it will look like, except so I'm doing all the called for colors, DMC, but on a black instead of white. And this is what I have gotten done on it, and I really love it. It's really fun to work on. I didn't keep what tells me about this. I'm pretty sure this is a 14 count Ada, but it might be a 16 count. I think it's a 14 count though. Just got that from Michael's, and so yeah, isn't it pretty? I love how this looks on the black. And it's gonna be so fun. And it's one of my favorite quotes, the "We're all mad here" quote that shows up in his tail. And I love the Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Cat and the Mad Hatter are two of my favorite characters of all time. So This is one of the very first patterns I bought whenever I started stitching again. It's been kitted up for several months now, and so I'm glad I finally got to stitch it. But I'm wanting to just sit down and stitch it, so I've worked on that more than my wheel has told me I should. Then my diamond painting. So this I had done an two unboxings I've done for New Craft Day now. And so this is one of the items that I had unboxed. And it is this little Christmas girl. And I am starting from the bottom down, just like a Christmas elf. So let me pull this up because I think it's a lot more sparkly whenever I have it up. So yeah, look at that sparkle. I am really loving the diamond painting. It is just really relaxing. This is the circle drills. So you can get circle drills or you can get square, and these were the circle. And I just love it so much. And it's just really fun to sit and work on at night. It's pretty brainless. Like, I don't really have to think very much. It's very satisfying. And my mom had told me, she's like, it's addicting. It's really satisfying to do. And I'm like, yeah, we'll see. I didn't know how I'd like it. It is definitely, I get it. I totally get the diamond painting craze. It really is satisfying. And I tried using some of the, like, they have these different things that you can put in multiple drills at once. And I didn't like that. I really like doing it one at a time. So, yeah, enjoying that a lot. All right, so that is everything that has gone on this week. Like I said, probably gonna try and do a game night tonight. Tomorrow is Olivia's second birthday party, so that will be a good time. And yeah, I don't know what else is going on this week, so I'll tell you about it next week because I just don't remember. All right, that is all. So guys, what did you do this week? Tell me about it. Did you start any new books? Have you finished any books so far? Are you working on new projects now that the new year has started? New Year's resolutions? Talk to me. Let's interact down in the comments, like interacting down there. As you can see, I do lots of content on here. I do ColorTube, I do BookTube. I do, BookTube is my primary. Then I do FlossTube, and I also do ColorTube, which I don't have as much of, but there should be a video coming up this week of a coloring book haul. I think it's going to be the couple pictures that I finished since last time I did a completion show, and then a coloring book haul, and like a quick flip through of each one. So that'll either be this week coming up or next week, I'm not sure. Yeah, so anywhere you can find me is down below in the description box. Email, Instagram, Goodreads, Amazon wishlist is down there, all that good fun stuff. And yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more from me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys later this week. All right, bye.